From the Boulevard Room of the Jefferson Arms, it's time for the Playhouse Party. And now here's your host, St. Louis's musical master of ceremonies, Russ David.
Hello, hello, hello. What a wonderful word, what a wonderful word, what a wonderful word, hello. Yes, sir. Well, we haven't been on the air, live that is, since, well, last year. And so this is my first day back on this particular program. And this is going to be played on January the 23rd. January the 23rd. This is when this program will air. So you folks who are here today, be sure to tune yourself in. And I also would like to announce the folks who are here televising this show from KETZ, that's Channel 9. Jim Kircher is in charge of this project. And there's Marleen Lewis, Cheryl Ellis, and Clay Marlow. How about a nice hand for these people? I'd like to introduce my cast. That's Eddie Plitt, our fine engineer over there. And my son, Danny, the drummer. And a wonderful bass player, Jay Hungerford. Jay? Okay, my daughter, who is the coordinator for our show, Debbie Lewis over there. Debbie? And of course, Dottye Bennet. Very, very fine singer, lovely lady. And Dottye, you are going to sing some special lyrics, and it's in 4 flats, to a song called Foggy Day.
A snowy day in St. Louis town had me low and it had me down. I viewed the morning with rising alarm. The art museum had lost its charm. How long, I wondered, could this thing last? But the age of miracles, it hadn't passed. And suddenly, I saw you right there. And in snowy St. Louis town, the sun was shining everywhere.
Did you ever go sledding downhill, Dottye?
Yeah, sure. Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I went skiing at Algonquin when I caddied there.
Oh, I went.
Borrowed skis.
Yeah, skiing. I went cross-country skiing.
Yeah.
I did fine until I had to just stand still, and then I fell.
The skier in this audience is Mr. Fred Fuchs. He's the skier, my buddy.
How long, I wonder, could this thing last? But the age of miracle, it had not passed. And suddenly, I saw you right there. And in snowy St. Louis town, the sun was shining, shining everywhere.
Shining,
everywhere. Shining, shining everywhere.
Dottye, we did a song at one of the country clubs, and it was earlier in December, and a man came up and asked for a special song. And after you did it, he left the table where he was sitting with his wife and came up and explained why he wanted this song.
Well, he loved it. He thinks that this is one of the prettiest love songs that's ever been written, and I happen to agree. And
that isn't the story.
Well, that's as much of the story as I'm going to tell on this man. Okay. And this is the way it goes. I can only give you love that lasts forever, and a promise to be near each time you call. And the only heart I own for you and you alone. That's all. That's all. I can only give you country walks in springtime, and a hand to hold when leaves begin to fall, and a love whose burning light will warm the winter's night. That's all. That's all. There are those I am sure have told you they would give you the world for a toy. All I ask are these arms to enfold you, and a love time can never destroy. If you're wondering what I'm asking in return, dear, you'll be glad to know that my demands are small. Say it's me that you adore, for now and evermore. That's all. That's all. If you're wondering what I'm asking in return, dear, you'll be glad to know that my demands are small. Say it's me that you adore, for now and evermore. That's all. That's all. That's all.
Hello, buddy.
The wind is blowing, the snow is snowing. I can weather the storm. What do I care how much it may storm? I've got my love to keep me warm. I can't remember a worse December. Just watch those icicles form. What do I care how icicles form? I've got my love to keep me warm. Off with my overcoat, off with my glove. I need no overcoat, I'm burning with love. My heart's on fire, the flame grows higher. I can weather the storm. What do I care how much it may storm? I've got my love to keep
Mr.
me
J.
warm.
Hungerford, Jack.
Yeah, Jacob. Off with my overcoat, off with my glove. I need no overcoat, I'm burning with love. My heart's on fire, the flame grows higher, but I can weather the storm. What do I care how much it may storm? I've got my love to keep me warm. Love to keep me warm. Keep me warm.
Oh, it's getting warmer.
Oh,
It's getting warmer. Debbie, how about introducing our grand lady?
Our grand lady is Clara Farley. She is 97 years young, and she loves to dance. And she's 97. How about that?
I'll tell you something. Every time I see somebody older than I I'm just so grateful because it means that they've paved the road ahead. It makes it easier for me to walk on it. What have you done to look so well and be so aware and be 97 years young? What do you credit this?
Well, I always liked fun, and I always loved to dance. Uh-huh. And I was a gold medalist dancer.
Oh, did you?
Arthur Murray.
Oh, no fooling. Boy, that was a big name in this town for many, many years.
It was.
Yeah. Now, what does that mean, a gold medalist winner?
Well, you have to learn all the steps, and you have to do it by yourself and with a partner. And you get an examination, and you go through bronze, silver, and gold. Oh, that's just hours of work and hours of dancing.
Let me ask you something. Have you ever thought of a time, Clara, that you wish you had done something else? Like, you come to a fork in the road and you say, well, maybe I should have taken the one on the right instead of what you've done. Did you ever have any regrets? Not that it would have made any difference.
No, I really haven't. When I was young, I worked, I was a comptometer operator, and I just loved figures. And I did that, and I loved that. And then I got to dancing. And I always wanted to be a
What did you want to be?
Not a toe dancer. What do you call it?
Ballet?
Ballet. But I never had a chance.
You want to do some ballet dancing now? Yes. You got a stiff knee?
Yes. Yeah, arthritis.
I thought you said Arthur Murray. Yes, dear.
I said you could just maybe hold her.
Oh, I'd love to hold her. Eddie, would you go over there and play the piano? We have a wonderful pianist back here, Eddie Plitt. I'll tell you what, let's do a foxtrot. Hold this, Debbie. About this tempo, Eddie.
Now, wait a minute, I can't even get up.
Well, I know she was married for 50 years and she lost her husband. Do you do any traveling?
Not now.
Did you?
Yeah. I have.
Now, I noticed on your farm here you lived in North St. Louis and South St. Louis.
Yeah. Well, I lived in North St. Louis until I had to move to South St. Louis. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. Yes, I do know what you mean. You have to be a native to understand those words. I was born up on Penrose Avenue. You know where Penrose is?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my grandfather lived on Sullivan Avenue, right near the ballpark, the old ballpark on Grand and Dottye.
I lived on Goodfellow.
On Goodfellow. That's considerably farther north and west.
Yes.
Yeah. Golly, I wouldn't know those neighborhoods. My father used to take me up to a place now called Florissant to get buttermilk, which I hated and still do. Oh, Russ, it's good for you, Russell, he'd say, Russell. God, I hated that. North St. Louis, but it wasn't nothing but dairy farms up there. Cows everywhere and that buttermilk. Oh. Then he wanted to take me swimming to Lake Hill. Had that sulfur water in the pools. Its odor was awful. You'd get ill before you even got in the water. It smelled terrible. Oh, my father loved it. What's this back here? What is it, Ed? What is it, Eddie? Are you holding something from me, Ed? Our relationship is so close. Don't hold back, Edwin.
It's really nothing, Russ.
Well, we have a lovely corsage for Clara Forgey. Is it Forgey? How do you spell it?
Foggy. Foggy. Forgey.
Forgey.
Yes.
Hey, I used to know a Tebbs Forgey. Yeah. He was an attorney, I believe. Right. Tebbs Forgey.
He's not related.
But you know the name.
Yeah, and I know there was a Tebbs Forgey.
Yeah, well, okay. You got something in common here. Thank you, Ms. Forgey. Okay. Now, Debbie, when you help this lady back, I want you to come over here. You see, I have 3 daughters. There's, they were Debbie, Jean, David, Jennifer, Jean, David, and Susan, Jean, David. And naturally, Jean was my wife's middle name. And so that's how all of these names came into being. And Debbie was the first one. And she's probably more like her mother than the other 2. And she holds on to tradition more than the other 2. So I want her to come over here. Debbie, come over here just a moment, will you? She called the other day and she said, you know, Dad, get that microphone, sweetheart. She said, why couldn't we do something together? And I thought, well, it's 1994. It's wonderful.
It's marvelous.
It's marvelous.
You should care.
I do care.
For me. It's awful nice.
Yes, it's awful nice.
It's paradise.
It's more than that.
It's what I'd like to hear. You make my life so glamorous. You can't blame me for feeling amorous. Yes, and it's wonderful.
Oh, it's more than that, baby.
Marvelous. I'm very nervous. That you should care for me.
That you should care for. That you should care for me.
One thing that I grew up with was we were never quite sure it was going to happen. So I called Dad and he said, gee, that sounds great. But I didn't know until we just started, he hit a key. And he said, is that okay? And I went, okay. So
it's always been that way. When we went to Colorado, all the kids would be in the car and I'd say, okay, we're going to sing a song now. Here's your part. Here's your part. Here's your part. Here's your part. And I'll sing, boom, ba-dum. And by golly, but by the time we got to Estes Park, we were singing pretty good harmony. Oh, yeah. Colorado, here I come, right back where I started from. Your mountains and your trees calling to me.
Mountains and flowers calling to me. Asbestos in Estes.
Asbestos in Estes. Here we come on bended knee. Oh, Colorado, here we come, right back where we started from. Open up your silver mines.
That was your big song.
Colorado, here I come. My guest star, Mr. John Becker. How about a nice hand for John? A wonderful banjo player. You know something, Johnny? You were walking so well now, and the last time I saw you, I didn't think you'd ever walk really well again.
This is the first time in 2 years, Russ, that I've walked without a cane.
That's great.
Thanks to a wonderful orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Rendy, who gave me 2 hip replacements, 1 on each side. And I'm so grateful to him.
I play golf with a doctor, Dr. Irwin, who has 2 hip replacements, 1 on either side. And for a while, he couldn't pivot. You know, in golf, you have to have a lateral motion.
Yeah,
he couldn't move. But you know something? On any given day now, he can go out there and beat your fanny off.
Sure.
He's learned to work with those 2 hips, Ben, and he does a good job.
Well, I'm looking forward to doing some long walks. Walking, I always love to walk, Russ, you know.
Yeah.
And now I'm looking forward. I'm still a little stiff, you know, because the last hip was in November. So I'm still a little stiff from that.
Okay, play something for us, John.
Okay.
Doesn't affect the fingers anyhow.
I
Right?
hope not. Anyway, yeah.
Okay.
Well, by the way, Russ,
Yeah.
you've always mentioned that George Gershwin was your favorite composer.
That's true.
So I think we ought to do a little George Gershwin right now and play a thing called Swanee.
Okay.
D minor and F, huh?
Boy, that's great, John. That's great.
Are you familiar with the origination of that song, by the way, Russ?
No.
There's an interesting story about that. It was written in 1919. I remember the date because that's the year I was born.
1919, that's 10 years. Oh, wait a minute, he died when he was 29 years. No, was he 29 when he died?
No, he was 30-something.
30. Well, anyhow, that's pretty young in his career, though.
Yeah, right. But this was introduced at a new theater in New York that featured stage show and then a movie.
Yeah.
And at that time, the stage show consisted of Arthur Pryor's band, which was a regular brass band.
Oh, boy, yeah.
And
his son later had a dance orchestra that toured him. They were in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Roger Pryor Jr., they called.
Yeah, I recall that, yeah.
Yeah, good band.
Yeah. But anyway, had 60 chorus girls dance this tune Swanee with little electric light bulbs on their shoes. Yeah, that's right. And this brass band arrangement of Swanee with 60 chorus girls, it didn't go over very well. And until later on, a fellow by the name of Al Jolson happened to grab hold of the song. He loved it, and of course, he made a big smash hit out of it.
We used to have a place here in St. Louis called the Garrick Theater, and the chorus girls used to wear those little light bulbs, not on the shoes. What are you laughing about, Dan?
I wouldn't know what you're talking about either.
I
Russ.
don't want anybody to know what I'm talking about. Now, my grandfather told me never to go there. What are you going to play, John?
Let's do another George Gershwin tune. This one here. Let's see.
Show a little pity. Oh, sweet and lovely lady, be good. Oh, lady, be good to me. John, I want you to sit here. No, take that microphone, just 1 minute. Johnny's played on riverboats a long time, and I played on riverboats a long time. Yeah, sit here. Okay. And I watch all the gambling boats that are coming into this city and other cities up and down, and now they're bringing them inland. Any excuse now. They're having a gambling casino on a lake or a river or any body of water. And then, of course, my thoughts go back to music. Will there be entertainment on this boat? Will it be important, or will the music be incidental? In other words, just get to the gambling table and get it over with. What's your feeling about this, John?
That's right, because we've kind of checked into that already, Russ, and it seems like music is unimportant as far as the gambling boats are concerned. Some of them are not even considering any type of music, It's just gambling, that's it. Now, later on it might, they might put in music to advertise or to instill a little bit of interest in the boats. But as of now, music is very much incidental.
Well, the reason I ask that question is because gambling in Vegas and Tahoe, music is pretty predominant. Mm-hmm. And I wondered if that would happen here with local gambling. But of course, those boats compared to, let's say, Vegas or Tahoe maybe are
a little different, yeah.
But in other words, you see no future for live music.
No, I'm afraid not.
Well, we're going back to the studio right now. Johnny, don't leave, because we want you to play some more banjo. We'll be right back. Thank you. Welcome back to Playhouse Party. We're broadcasting on this January the 23rd from the Jefferson Arms. And I want you to call here, 436-4600. We'll have one show in February, one show in March. And I don't know when they will pick up and schedule more shows. There's usually a problem in St. Louis in January, February, and March of attendance that falls off. And we're very happy to be here. And this is a lovely place. Isn't this a nice room, ladies and gentlemen? Besides that, we have a St. Louis Jazz Club, and they're here with me every day. And those people are, how about a nice hand for these people? They've been such wonderful supporters for us. And today I told you that we are picking this up by Channel 9, KETZ, and I'd like to thank Jim Kircher for being here, and Marleen Lewis, Cheryl Ellis, and Clay Marlow. And I don't know when this will be on, but it'll be on soon. Sir, would you come over here, the man I talked to about a program I heard about when I was in Florida? It's right over here. Just give me this microphone, and I'll drive all these people crazy with their electrical equipment and say, why did he do that? Oh, you hear it too? Well, I'm talking about the thing that I read about Reverend Schuler and the thing that happened on KMOX. Would you tell me what happened?
Well, it was kind of strange, I think, because I was sitting at the breakfast table and I was reading the paper and I had the program on. And all of a sudden I heard Reverend Schuler say something about his book, The Power of Positive Thinking. Yeah. And he was, saying how important it was to all of us. And then all of a sudden Kevin came on and said, I'm not a believer in positive thinking. I'm more for negativism. And all of a sudden I started kind of listening to this thing. And all of a sudden Sheila started saying, you don't know what you're talking about, and have you ever seen anyone suffer? Have you ever seen the Holocaust? Have you ever? And he went on, and I said, Bob, he's really angry. I didn't know if it was part of,
In other words, Schuler was angry to begin with.
I think Whatchcott was being kind of smart-alecky, I would think, because that's his whole basis
that's his premise, yeah.
Of positive thinking. And but as I said, I kept thinking, is this the regular show? Because I don't know anybody else here, but I don't listen to this show very often, but I just happened to turn it on. And then all of a sudden, Kevin Horrigan said, you don't know anything about me. How can you make those statements, what I'm like? And he went, and anyway, it was just...
Well, what did Schuler say about Horrigan that he was insulted for? Did he insult him on the air?
Well, actually, when it was finished, I thought they both acted like children. Now, that was sort of my thing. Schuler was really the one who got angry first, but then he kept saying things about Kevin didn't know what he was talking about, and that he had never really lived and didn't know all these things and hadn't seen people suffer. And I think Schuler thought Horrigan was making fun of him, like you don't know anything. And he also Horrigan made a statement. Now, and I know this isn't going to be exactly what it was, but because I started listening to this just kind of out of one ear, and he said something about somebody like a child died, and these people say, this child's in another world, in heaven. And it was like everything, the part that I got was that he was making fun of him.
That Horrigan was making fun of Schuler.
And Schuler was really angry. But he said he was going to leave too. He said, I'm not listening to this. I don't have to take this. I'm too old for this. I don't have time for this fooling around and all this. And so he was going to leave first. And then...
But Horrigan beat him to it.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. He stole the march on him. How about a nice hand for Horrigan? Thank you very much, hon. Very, very, very much. Well, I hear these two guys, and we have a peculiar kind of radio going on now. It's called shock radio. And everybody is doing it. Everybody is doing it. It's almost like you never heard rape before, you never heard sex before, and you go over and over and over again. You say, enough. This Bobbitt person, I don't get into these things. But everybody's sick and tired. We don't need that. We need John Becker, and we need nice things that happen. Okay, babe. Now, I have some things here. I tell you what, Dottye, come over here. Dottye, we have a lovely audience here, and I'd love you to sing some songs to get them to sing along. I'm going to tell you about this first song. We're playing a wedding tomorrow night, which is Friday night, but the people who are listening Sunday are going to say, what is he talking about? Well, we record on Thursday, so you're listening to it on the 23rd. But they asked for this song as their first dance. These are young people, and this is not the first time.
It had to be you. It had to be you. I wandered around, finally found somebody who could make me be true,
Could make me feel blue,
could make me be blue, and even be glad just to be sad, thinking of you. Some others I've seen might never be mean, might never be cross, try to be boss, they wouldn't do. Nobody else gave me a thrill. With all your faults, I love you still. It had to be you, wonderful you, had to be you.
When we were in Florida, Fred Fuchs was here today, and Peter Gubay was Dottie's son-in-law. We were on a parking lot for one of those Winn-Dixie stores down there, and there was a bunch of people naturally from all over the United States who were escaping the cold, and this one had a North Carolina license plate, okay? And I said to her, and she was shocked first, and then she started laughing. Nothing could be finer than to be in Carolina in the morning. Nothing could be sweeter than my sweetie when I greet her in the morning. Where the morning glories, where the morning glories twine around, whispering pretty stories that I long to hear once more. Strolling with my girlie when the dew is pearly early in the morning. Butterflies all flutter up and kiss these little buttercup adorning. If I had a lad's lamp for only a day, I'd make a wish and here's what I'd say. That nothing could be finer than to be in Carolina. My daughter Jenny is living with her husband in Washington, D.C. Actually, they live in Rockville, Maryland. And she wanted to know about some songs because she's going to be playing for a gentleman who was one of the Army colonels in World War II. And she said, what are some of the songs? And I said, well, one of the biggest songs was this one. Dottye?
I'll be seeing you in all the old familiar places that this heart of mine embraces all day through. In that small cafe, the park across the way, the children's carousel, the chestnut trees, the wishing well. I'll be seeing you in all the lovely summer's day, in everything that's light and gay. I'll always think of you that way. I'll find you in the morning sun, and when the night is new, I'll be looking at the moon, but I'll be seeing you.
Thank you, Dottye. Now, would you all join me on this song? Sentimental Journey. Gonna take a sand. Honey,
Yes, dear.
This harmony part won't be worth a darn without the melody.
You're absolutely right. You really do need me, don't you, Russ?
You're absolutely right. Here we go.
Gonna take a sentimental journey. Gonna set my heart at ease.
Come on now.
Gonna take a sentimental journey to renew old memories. Got my bag, I got my reservation. Spend each time I could afford. Like a child in wild anticipation, long to hear that all aboard. 7, that's the time we leave at 7. I'll be waiting up for heaven, counting every mile of railroad track that takes me back. Never thought my heart would be so yearning. Why did I decide to roam? Gonna take a sentimental journey home. Sentimental journey home. Sentimental journey home.
Now, Debbie, would you introduce our proud mama?
Our proud mama today is, her given name is Minerva. She'd much prefer to go by Butch Husling. She has 9 children. She has 6 boys and 3 girls, and they're all living.
Well, you know something? I wouldn't like Minerva either. I think if I were a girl, I wouldn't like Minerva. On the other hand, a lot of people would call you Minnie then, you know?
No, but it's the goddess of wisdom.
What?
It's the goddess of wisdom, Minerva.
Minerva's the goddess of wisdom? Is that right? Well, who would you rather be, that or would you like to be Medusa?
No, I'd rather be Butch.
Okay, all right. 9 children, 15 grandchildren, 6 boys.
3 girls. Huh? I got 6 boys and 3 girls. 15 grandchildren, 4 great-grandchildren.
What are you going to do this year? You going to change anything?
Not a thing. I'm very happy.
Yeah.
I am. I have wonderful children. Wonderful.
I'll tell you one thing. Any of your kids divorced yet?
No. No.
Oh, there's so many of them, you know.
I have 2 not married. My 2 oldest daughters aren't married.
They live with you?
Are you kidding?
Well, some of them do.
Not me.
Some of them do. But, you know, the cooking's it's especially true with sons who stay with their mom because their mother does all the laundry and cooks and, you know, why get married?
No way. They're out on their own.
Yeah. Well, do you live alone?
I do. Is
that right? How big a house you got?
I live in an apartment.
I see. Do you traipse around like this?
All the time.
Who are you with today?
Managed planning.
Managed planning?
Yeah.
What is that?
They own a group of apartments.
I see.
Are
you a part of the business deal?
Oh, no. I'm one of their renters.
You're one of their renters, huh?
Right. Wonderful places.
Yeah.
Yeah. The boss is here. I want to say that.
Where's the boss? Hi, boss. Managed apartments, huh? Managed
planning.
Managed planning. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. I never say anything like this on the air, but I'm going to say it now. A guy talked to me the other day, about a year ago. He said, Russ, why don't you buy some stock in some Chinese companies or rim companies? I said, oh, come on. Those Humpty Dumpty people, I don't. He said, Russ, everybody is. That's the best investment I have at this moment. I said, go ahead and get some. I don't know what they do over there, but whatever they do, they must do a lot of it. And then I read it in this morning's paper. It's the biggest consuming market in the world today in China. The biggest consumer market. Maybe that's the reason August Bush is meeting him. All right, well, I'm going to sell them beer, sell them anything, I guess. Huh?
Sure.
Did you ever wish for a lot of money?
Never.
Did you ever buy lotto tickets?
All the time.
What would you do if you won, well, let's make it big, $10 million?
I'd make 9 children very happy.
I'll bet you would, babe.
Right.
Well, we have a lovely corsage for this lady, and who wants to be called Butch, but I think, I don't like Butch, really. You do.
My dad named me that because I was the firstborn of 10 children and he wanted a boy. Then I had 5 brothers.
I like to call boys Butch. That's okay. Okay. I'm going to play some piano things here. One of these, unfortunately, a lot of pianists that you've never heard of now today. This man's name was Walter Gross. He wrote one song, and this is it. Out at the Candlelight, which was out in Clayton Road. His name was Carmen Caballero, C minor, a fast samba. Thank you. There was a piano player in this town named Lee Sanguinet, and we had a thing that we called Ebony and Ivory. Ebony and Ivory was on the CBS network. We played things like this. And right after we finished on the air, let's say it was 10 to 10:30, a guy played the organ from New York, and he played like this. His name was Fats Waller. Every honeybee fills with jealousy when they see you out with me. Your confection really shows honeysuckle rose. When you're passing by, flowers droop inside, and they know the reason why your confection really glows. My honeysuckle rose. Well, I don't like sugar. You just have to stir my cup. Don't like sugar. Well, it's sweet when you stir it up. When I'm taking sips from your ruby lips, and the honey fairly drips, your perfection, goodness knows. Honeysuckle rose, you're my wonderful honeysuckle rose. Now, my favorite pianist of all the years was this man, Art Tatum.
next one was this one. I like that dance. Okay. Now, we've got some contestants. Who are our contestants, Deb?
Our contestants are Marjorie King and Vera Bryhan, German.
What was that last name?
I got it. Bryhan, Vera.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
That's nice. That's nice that you say all this German word so good. I really like to hear you say that. Scheumann, is it? Huh? Oh, Max gut. Yeah, sure. I'm saying all of these things, and the German people are saying, are you kidding? Now, we're going to play a series of songs. The first song, I want you to put not only the guy who sang it, I want you to give me the name of the song. Okay, that's the first one. The second one, this girl that now has a golf tournament that's going to be on this month, probably another week, out at Mission Hills, out where you're going, out in Palm Springs. Palm Desert, are you going to? Palm Desert. Anyhow, this girl sang this one. The next one is going to be a tough one. All you have to do is tell me what show this appeared on. It said Jackie Gleason. This is a tough one, but it's a lovely song. Okay? That's the third one. The next one was a famous dancer. Famous dancer. I just saw him recently. And he did a song. Just put the name of the dancer down. The song is Once in Love with Amy. Put the name of the dancer. He also played the part of the Tin Man, didn't he? In The Wizard? Just put his, pardon?
Scarecrow.
Scarecrow? Oh, that's right. Who was it? Jack Haley played the other guy. Okay. Now, the last one, this was a lady that I appeared on her program when I was on KSD. She had her show out in New York in the afternoon on early television. And this was her theme song. Boy, did she get razzed about that theme. Okay, here are the songs. The first one was Crosby, Bing Crosby, and Blues in the Blue of the Night. The next one was In Your Chevrolet, that's Dinah Shore. And the next one was the Jackie Gleason Show. That was her theme. The name of that song was, let me see the title, cause It's Such a Happy Day. That was a themed song. Ray Bolger was the one. Okay? And the last one was Kate Smith, When the Moon Comes Over the Mountain. Okay? How did they do, Debbie?
Well, you made it pretty tough for them, but Marjorie King is the winner and Vera flunked.
Okay.
In German.
How about a nice hand for our contestants? I got a kick out of that song of Jackie Gleason's song. John, how about having John Becker come back? Wonderful band. Oh, do some of the standards, Johnny. Any of the standards are good. Any of the standards.
China Boy.
China Boy, all right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Johnny. It's about 1 minute before we go off the air. Dottye, would you do something for me if you're out there? Would you do this as a close off the air? Sing a little song for your granddaughter on the last program here and dedicate it to Laura. And it goes... Is that right, Keith?
You're doing Laura or
Little
Little Girl?
girl.
Little girl, you're the one girl for me.
You have a good time,
Little
folks?
girl, you're as sweet as can be. Just a glance at you meant love from the start. Oh, what a thrill came into my heart. Little girl, with your cute little ways, I am yours for the rest of my days. And this great big world will be divine. Little girl, when you're mine, all mine.
Goodbye, folks.
20-month-old. You're